how are you? احنا هنا في مصراوي. دلوقتي هندوق الأكل المصري 100%، السبيشالتيز اللي احنا بنعملها والحاجات اللي لازم لو جيتوا على مساساجا تدوقوها أكيد. احنا النهاردة هنجرب مع بعض الكالاماري، نعمل واحد من أحسن الكالاماري في أونتاريو. You have to try. هنجرب الحمام المحشي، هنجرب الكشري، وهنجرب الحواوشي.
في كتير ناس بقولها بيطلع عبالي كشري، بيقولوا ستريت فود كله رز. اكيد اي لاف كشري. رحت على العراق اكلت كشري، رحت على مصر اكلت كشري. فبهالسفره بعد ما اكلنا اكل مصري تقليدي كتير مبسوط. مطعم كتير مشهور كتير كبير مفول عم بيقلب مرتين. الشيف قالنا بعتذر عن جد ما فيك تفوت على المطبخ لانه فايتين ببعضنا، بس هو مصراوي. very excited, super excited. يعني عملنا سيريان، جوردانيان، ايجيبشن، فلسطينيان، لبنيز، عراقي، غطينا المنطقة كلها. منبلش بالكالاماري. صغار مبرومين، chunks crunchy, feel good. بدهم عصرة حامض، منن ما بيزيزقوا مثل الكاوتشوك او مثل هذا الكالامار. فهمت قصدي؟ ظابطة. تقليدي مصري على الاخر، حتى حمام فيه وحده محشيه برز، وحده محشيه بفريك، على جنب شويه بطاطا. واو بهارات. رجعتنا على سفرة مصر من سنتين. الطعمية، الكشري اللي عم نحكي عنه بينخلط، الرز، الباستا، كل العدة. أكيد بتحطوا له صوص يلي ما راح أحط له لأنه توم. هذا على الأصول كيف؟ وهيدا وكل حواوشي، خبزة، كفتة، لحمة. good. This is really good. حطوا معها كاتشب اذا كرمال او كرمال فريت لحدها. واو سوبر جوسي ميت. Very interesting. I love it. Upscale Egyptian street food. والعجقة مش بالغلط. وأكلات طيبين. ليك ملا قرشة. Great job. It's dinner time.
أنا اسمي محمد صلاح وأنا عايش في ميسيساغا أونتاريو and I'm the owner of Masrawy Egyptian Kitchen. Masrawy Egyptian Kitchen is the truest form of authentic Egyptian soul food. We pride ourselves on providing the most authentic Egyptian cuisine here in GTA in Toronto, Canada. And it is a place where everybody, no matter where you're from, you can come and feel at home. We pride ourselves on making sure that Egyptians can truly authenticize our food and say that this is Egyptian cuisine, akl beiti. And at the same time, in the same breath, anybody who's not Egyptian comes in and eats our food because we have something for everybody. Egyptian cuisine in itself actually has vegan options, vegetarian options, spicy options, not spicy, lamb, chicken, beef, pigeon, whatever your flavor, we have it. And it's a gift from the culture. So the restaurant is kind of bigger than food. I've always said that to everybody, and I'm going to repeat it again. Masrawy is a place where no matter what your faith is, no matter what part of Egypt you're from, or if you're not even in Egypt, everybody comes and gets to experience the true beauty in the Egyptian culture, which بيقولوا علينا إن إحنا دمنا خفيف. That's what they say. All we try to do is replicate that within every aspect of the restaurant.
حبيتك.
I'm very honored.
عم تفهم لبناني شوي
طبعاً
حبيتك كثير.
Thank you.
حبيت الباشن، حبيت الاونستي، حبيت انه you know your stuff. And you're a very very hard worker and my phone okay and you're a very hard worker. عبالي الانترفيو هيك ناخده محل تاني ونتعلم as restaurant owners, entrepreneurs, F&B professionals.
Yes.
What makes a good restaurant?
To be honest with you, a lot of people that come and ask us this question because usually they're happy with their experience. Not everybody, but I would like to say the vast majority of people that leave here leave with a breath of fresh air. And that comes from two things. There's no slacking on quality when it comes to not just your food or your beverages, but also the quality of service that you're giving. And that comes from a natural experience with people. So أي حد بيجي يشتغل عند مصراوي, I usually give them these interview questions. I ask them, who's the most important person in your life? And usually they're like, what do you mean? How do I answer that question? And I'm like, no, seriously, who is the most important person in your life? And usually it's led with a family member, my mother, my father, my sibling. And I said, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture that person walking into a restaurant. You're not there. And from when they get out of their car, in the parking lot, walking up to this place, how would you want them to experience that? And every person that walks into this establishment, I want them to experience what you would want the most prized person to you to feel. So if you see someone lost, you will immediately greet them. Yes, can I help you? When they're sitting down, there's no shame in saying, hey, you haven't touched that yet. Was everything okay with that meal? Because the same way you have ضيوف في البيت عندنا, is that's exactly what it is here. This is your home. Everybody that walks in here, I said, welcome home.
تعامل مع الناس مثل ما بتحب الناس تتعامل معك.
بالضبط. And I want them to know that they are comfortable here to explore. في حاجات هيجربوها لأول مرة. For example, في ناس كتيرة مع عمرهم ما داقوا ملوخية مصري. Especially my first experience with a Lebanese person in the restaurant. She ordered ملوخية. So أنا جبت لها ملوخية. لا تفضلي. Very confident, very excited for her to try it. She's like, Shu, what is this? And I'm like, ملوخية. She's like, no, this is not ملوخية. And that was the first time in my life I had learned that Lebanese, Syrians, they make their ملوخية completely different. Up until now, I'm yet to taste that. So if anyone wants to make me some, I would love to
next week. He's going to Lebanon next week.
I am going to Lebanon next week. But I can't wait to taste it. And so I wanted to, you always want to give everybody the opportunity to try things for the first time. We're not like, alhamdulillah, because we're busy and I guess we have a decent amount of volume, it makes it easier because I was about to give advice like don't be like cheap, let people try your food, let people ask you for extra this, ask you for extra that, but not everyone's in that situation, so I can understand how that's not always the case. But if you do that and you honestly win the hearts of your people that are coming to try your food, you've gained not just a client, but you've gained maybe a friend, someone for a lifetime, someone who will speak about your establishment in a way that you'd want it to be spoken about.
Big success story. انت حكيتها بشوي تواضع, but this is a very big success story. One of the few Egyptian restaurants. I've been to Egypt several times. Yes. I love street food in Egypt, and I've been places, oh my God, yes, I've been places where nobody goes.
The real deal.
The real deal. And I felt it in your food.
Alhamdulillah.
كيف من حدا منه restaurateur, you're not in the restaurant business.
Yes.
And one day you have that huge success. والله الطاولات عم تبرم مرتين. I've asked for special orders from the chef. قال لي بكل احترام, I don't have time for you.
No. Okay.
Positively.
It's okay. Yeah.
Tell me the secret.
Growing up here, I've had the privilege of growing up mainly in Toronto. I've been here for like close to 25 years. And every single person who would come and eat at our house, ولا حتى عرب, احنا تربينا هنا, فاللي رحنا معاهم في المدارس, they're not Egyptian or they are Egyptian or they're Arab or whatever. They taste my mother's food, my aunt's food, my uncle's food, and they would say, Muhammad, This food is exceptional. I've never had a macarona bechamel, for example, a pasta like this, a lasagna like this. This is not lasagna. What is this? I've never eaten hammam, like a pigeon stuffed. Like what? Like where can I get this? And you would look left and you would look right, and there wouldn't be anything that was providing this kind of home cooked cuisine, at least here where I live. So there was definitely a void in the market. But then came the idea where I learned very quickly that this is a very labor intensive cuisine. So this kind of cuisine takes a lot of time, a lot of labor, a lot of expenses to get the right ingredients, because if the ingredients are not right, people will not accept this as authentic. And that was one of my main goals. I didn't want someone to say, I've been to a lot of commercial restaurants, and I'm sure you've seen it. Whenever I go to, if I see a Somalian guy and I say, I want to eat Somalian food that you would eat, or Korean food. I would like to eat what you would eat at home. I don't want the commercial version, you know? And I pride myself on thinking that this is what that is of Egyptian cuisine here at Masrawy. So I think that going back to it, there was a void in the market, and we had to fill that void in an exceptional way.
سؤال صعب بس هين.
قول لي.
ليش سألتك قبل شوي؟ You're not a cook, you're not a chef, you're not an F&B professional. You might be an investor, you might be a marketeer, you might be anything. But yet some, and this is or all in a way, when you come to Canada, you come to invest.
Yes.
You come to do some cash. And then probably the easiest, or what your friends say, is تعال افتح مطعم يا حبيبي.
Yeah.
Let's learn something.
Yeah.
From an entrepreneur
Yes.
to opening a restaurant.
Yes.
What's the missing link for the food not to taste entrepreneurial?
You hit it right on the mark. This is one of those stories where restaurant business is one of the hardest businesses, and I've had the privilege of owning other businesses and working. This wasn't an investment of cash. This was an investment of cash, complete time, day and night, 7 days a week. I slept in this restaurant. And anybody who knows me knows that this is the case. Everything from hosting to servicing to acquiring the proper ingredients to putting it all together, but mainly, and I have to thank God for this, He blessed me with a team one by one where we built and established a recipe for success. And that is, no matter what, we're a family. So even in-house, this is what makes us successful. Everyone, I hope, and I hope always, wants to come to work, right? If you develop a place or any business, in my opinion, where the people that work in this business, feel a part of the business and really feel it, and feel that they are also making a living from this, that they're not going home and there's something missing and they're giving more than what they're receiving. If you're honest, I pride myself on not, yes, I feed my family. Yes, this is everything to me financially, but it's bigger than that. This is also, when you're an entrepreneur, it gives you access to being able to do things without having to answer. Meaning, if you're going to sponsor teams, everybody in the community, if you're going to help out in the community, if you're going to invest as a business in your community, there's no one to tell you anything. It's your decision, who you want to help, what name you want to establish for yourself. And honestly, when it's natural and when it's actually done out of a duty to your creator and to humanity, and it comes off that way, and that's how it is, it's received that way. So my answer to connecting entrepreneurship to restaurant success has to be that you have to give everything. A lot of people say, hey, I would love to open a restaurant with you. I say, okay, are you married? That's usually my question. Are you married? Do you have children? Do you see them often? How often? How important is that to you? Because the minute you open this, you will not see them, especially in the beginning. And that is because you have to be dedicated to build the foundation of what this is. I don't know how long this amazing dream and fantasy is going to be. I have a long-term goal to make it successful forever, inshallah. But for as long as God deems us worthy to have this establishment and continue to serve people in the way that we're doing, every single person that's here is treated like a king or a queen. I would hope so. You could ask them. And if it's not that way, I don't want it. I honestly don't want it. And that's, I think, what makes us successful is everyone loves coming to work. And we love providing this thing that's kind of just become a product on its own.
to put it into perspective بس نحط الاجواء كيفيه. تعرفنا على بعضنا من 5 دقائق، ما بعرفه من قبل، سامع عنه اكيد، هو سامع عني اكيد، بس حسيت انه فيني اقعد انا وياك ونحكي كثير اشياء. حسيت انه فينا نقعد اند شير، وكثير بحب انه اللي عم نحكيه اليوم انا فيني اقعد نحكي انا وياك نشرب قهوه بس بنتعلم منه. في كثير ناس اليوم رح تحضر وتتعلم. امبارح حدا بعث لي مساج على انستغرام قال لي ثانكس تو يور فيديوز، كنت عم بفكر اذا بروح على تورونتو او على اوتاوا، وقررت اني اروح على اوتاوا، ما بعرف ليش، بس انه اخذ قرار.
You didn't do this interview yet. No, I'm joking.
اخذ القرار. One more question.
Yes.
استباءً للي رح نسمعه انه ولو يحكي عربي، صار له 25 سنه هون.
25 سنة. انا اقدر اتكلم بالعربي طبعا، بس انا مش عايز افضح نفسي قدامكم.
بس اهم شيء السؤال هو 25 سنه هون؟
لا 35 سنة
35 سنه
في كندا.
How are you still connected to your roots? لغتك حلوه، عربيتك حلوه، احكي انجليزي بليز كفي لانه مرتاح انت مع بحكي. بس how someone stays connected مصري all the way my roots ما بنسيهم.
That definitely comes from our families. Our families made sure to always keep that strong bond that we should have with our roots and with our bloodline. I was privileged to be able to go as much as I can back home, but mainly it was part of what made us different. Nowadays, everyone wants to be different on Instagram. Everyone wants to be different on social media. Growing up as an Egyptian in North America, oftentimes people would come up to you and say, "Hey, man, you're Egyptian. That's so cool. It's so exotic." And as a young boy, I remember that made me feel good, and that made me feel different, and that was I am Egyptian, and this is cool, and then at the end of the day, also a lot of what brought my non-Arab and non-Egyptian friends closer to me and my family was some of the usul that came from our cultures, and that's what we try to display here. And I have to tell you honestly, like mashallah, your energy is very attractive, and it's almost what's the word I'm trying to use? It gives the person in front of you the same thing. Like we were just talking before this, how privileged you are wherever you go. No matter what you do, people love you, and then they love Lebanon because they meet your character. So I have the privilege of meeting thousands of people a day, and I think you and I share that same passion, which is meeting new people every single day. And a lot of what I can give that's good, inshallah, comes from my bloodline. And I have to pay homage to that all the time, because without it, I don't know, there is no me. If all the way back to the roots, alhamdulillah.
ان شاء الله رح نقول ان شاء الله بلا ما نوعد
باذن الله يا رب
انه as of next week انت الثلاثة رايح على لبنان لاول مرة بحياتك.
Yes,
We're
inshallah.
gonna find at least an hour to spend it together.
Yes, that would be so amazing. Yes.
فبنقول التقينا بكندا صديقي الجديد.
Yes.
And I really like you عن جد.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. And this is an honest experience. It's an honest conversation. And that's what I love about him. He just wanted to sit down and have an honest conversation. And I was telling my brother here that whenever anybody who meets someone else that's been in the industry and really feels the efforts and what it takes to try to give back through the means of a restaurant, it's an emotional conversation because it's a lot. It's a lot. But by the grace of God, it's a gift we've been blessed with.
الله يقويك، الله يوفقك، ان شاء الله بتكبر
جميعا ان شاء الله كلنا.
مصراوي
نورت البلد كلها for real.
بحب الكشري.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. People don't understand. الناس بلبنان وين ما كان انه كشري ما شوية رز I love it.
Yes. It's a complete dish.
You're gonna watch my full episodes in Cairo.
Inshallah, I would love that.
You're gonna cry.
I
From laughter and other things.
There's like 1,000 ways to make food. Yes.